Welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show with Dickson County Head Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post Sports reporter Casey Patrick. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt First Lending Solutions, where your dreams find the perfect mortgage match. Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, your local Medicare specialist, voted number 1 for health insurance. Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience, voted the number 1 auto dealership in Dickson County. Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, where trust meets expertise, navigating the real estate market with confidence and unlocking your home dream. Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, for all your flooring and paint needs since 1970, voted number 1 in Dickson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are Coach Jeff Tomlinson and Casey Patrick.
Hello and welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Jeff Tomlinson.
Good afternoon.
Coach, last Friday, your team lost 38-10, which of course you know that. But for some of the folks that weren't there and I wasn't there, can you just give me a quick rundown on what Clarksville was able to do?
Yeah, well, Clarksville imposed their will on us. They're big, physical, and strong up front, and they just ran the football very well, and we couldn't stop them from getting 4, 5, 6 yards of carry, and they just marched it down the field and scored on us. We had some decent drives of our own, but we just couldn't find a way to punch it in the end zone, and they were able to rattle up. I think it was 31-3 at halftime, and we come out, put together a decent little drive that ended again in no points, and they punched another one in, made it 38-3, and then we scored in the fourth, and that was the end of the ball game.
Now I know that both their offensive and defensive lines are really big, but
right.
They're also experienced. A lot of seniors up front for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he started all 5 of his offensive linemen were seniors, and talking with Coach Shelby, that's what he said, that they were very senior dominant in the trenches, but a lot of their skill guys are juniors, and they rely on a lot of juniors and a couple of sophomores and the skill guys. So really, they're very similar to us in that aspect, because we play some linemen. We're not quite as senior dominant in the line, but we have some seniors that play. 3 of our 5 seniors are linemen are seniors, and 2 of the 3 on defense, but we got a lot of skill guys that are underclassmen. So we're very similar to them in that aspect.
Okay, now I know this was probably the toughest game for the Cougars so far this year. What was something that you learned about your team in a game like that on Friday night?
Well, we saw some guys that had really played really well at times in the game, and like, for example, I can't get it out now, but Isaiah Daniel played normally plays a lot of defense, and he stepped in at our running back fullback spot and had a really productive night, and ran the ball hard and played well, and used him as him and Frazier there quite a bit, and he stood out a little bit. So things like that was nice to see. Defensively, we played a sophomore in LaDaney and Walker, and there was times where he was definitely outmatched, if you will, because of the senior dominating up front. But there was also times that he played really well, and he mixed it up really well with them inside. So it was it's always, whenever you play a good team like that, and like earlier in the year when we played Gallatin, losses sometimes aren't always a bad thing, because that's where you really learn the most. And so that's the way you got to look at it. And it doesn't change our region hopes very much. I mean, we can still host if we do our job. We can still host a playoff game, and those are still some goals out there that we're fighting for. So we're just going to take it and learn from it and move on.
Okay, and now you did mention later on in the game y'all did score a touchdown. Who scored that touchdown for y'all?
It was actually a punt block, and we blocked the punt, and Eli Andrews picked it up into the end. And I don't know if he picked it up or just fell on it in the end zone, but it was right down there close. And So we scored off a punt block special teams play.
Well, and that's, of course, a game like that, you're looking for all the positives you can. That's something that Eli and the rest of your special teams group, they can take that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the thing I loved about the team most is we didn't quit the whole time. We were playing and fighting to the end, and they played as hard as they was playing in the end of the fourth quarter as we were when we started the game. So, we've learned that, we're not going to just put our head down and give up. And so you like to see that. And, you like in some special teams aspect, we kicked a field goal, things like, we're some positives out of it that, you can bring from it and learn and bring momentum off of.
Now, I will say as a former Cougar, and of course I've been watching this team for the last few years as my job, that's something that I haven't always seen is something that where the team will stay in the game and not quit. And that was going to be my next question. Of course, I'm not in your locker room. So what is the mood or the vibe, you will, of the locker room and the guys after that kind of game?
It wasn't bad. It really wasn't. I mean, they were talking about okay, now we're going 7-3 instead of whatever, and then we're going to get them next week. We're going to bring it at practice. Isaiah Darden said, we're going to lock in. Wait till practice next week. We're going to bring up the level even more than what we have, and so it's really good actually. They know that they got work to do, and if they want to be a team like Clarksville High and get, be one of those top dogs every year in the region, that we got to put in work, and they're learning that and they're figuring that out.
As a coach, does that feel like a win? To be able to see your guys feel that way.
And as far as in aspects of the program and the culture change, it feels like a win. I mean, it feels like a win that we're going in the right direction, and the program's getting better. And, it makes you feel good to know that, things are starting to change in that aspect. So, I bring a win out of it from that aspect for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to take our first break real quick, and then when we get back, we're going to go over a few other things in the Clarksville game. We're going to talk about maybe if some younger guys got in and see how they did. But make sure y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. We make getting a mortgage easy, with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the bank, so you can trust us to have your best interests at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy a seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Friendly customer service and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Come see why we were voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County. Visit SteveJonesAuto.com.
Hello and welcome to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. Coach, Friday night, were you able to get any of your younger guys in?
We did get a few guys in the fourth quarter, especially defensively. We were able to play a couple of defensive linemen that we wanted to play. The linebackers was able to get some of our younger linebackers in. And offensively, a few of the backs. We left the line in, but a few of our backs was able to get in the game and get some work in.
Okay, now the defensive side of the ball, I know if somebody just looked at the box score and they saw 38 points, they'd probably think that your defense didn't play very well. But what do you think about how they went up against a really strong unit in Clarksville on Friday night?
They, if we could have just had that bend but not break mentality, we would have been great, because we were, forcing them to work hard to get what they had to get. We were making them having to move the chains. It was 3 every time. They would having to get a third down conversion, but it would be 3rd and 2, and then they would get 3 yards. And we had them on 4th and 4 down on around the 15 on their first drive, and they went for it and they got 5 yards. And so we were, we had them in 4th down in that aspect, or that drive. We had probably 4 or 5 third down conversions in that drive. We just couldn't stop them from getting that 3 or 4 yards because of how much bigger they were up front. I don't know if they were really bigger, but they were just able to get good push up front. So I wasn't, our secondary played well. They don't throw it much, but when they did, we covered it really well. And so, we a lot of good positives comes out of that. We just got to get a little older and get a little stronger. And, the weight room when we first got here was a key point of emphasis, and it's still a point of emphasis because we're not there yet. And it takes time in the weight room, and we got to just keep plugging along at it.
And some of those games, whenever you do get towards the end and you start to put some younger guys in, whether you're up by a bunch, down by a bunch, whatever the case may be, do you have to kind of look at the game differently? Do you have to try to watch it differently to see how guys are growing, or are you just always the same head coach looking at it the same way no matter what?
No, I guess you look at it differently in some aspects, because, you know that those guys are backups for a reason, and you want to see them, how they respond in different scenarios, and you want to see the growth in their play. Whereas, like I said, for example, if I'm a linebacker and I'm standing there and I wait for the guy to come to me, or I'm waiting for those guys instead of me going and meeting it at the point of attack. And so you're looking for things like that, which you're not necessarily looking for with the starters in, because they're already doing that. That's why they're the starters. So there's a few things you look differently at.
Okay, now when your starters are on the sideline, at the end of a game and they're not playing very much, are you looking for any certain behavior out of them or action?
Oh, yeah, you better not be over there goofing around. We want you up and still involved in the game and helping your teammate out and letting them know. And I thought we did a really good job of that, not just Friday or this past Friday, but we've done a good job of that in JV games, and we've done a good job of that in practice. So I think that's a really big growth statement too, is that to how much they're working with their teammates to help them learn the system, learn what we're doing.
Okay, and who are some guys that help you do that, as far as the seniors or maybe just older, more experienced guys on the team?
One of the biggest ones is Elijah Fernandez.
Okay.
And he's just a sophomore, but he's going to help anybody and everybody out, and he's a really smart young man, and he does a good job of that. Gavin Taylor's done that in the secondary since he's been injured for a little while. He's been able to do that. We see Isaiah Daniel do that a lot, and Luke Markham was teaching out in the practice field the other day. He come out, and Landon Carr goes in as his backup free safety, and he's walking with him behind him and saying, all right, this is what you're looking for, this is what you're seeing. So it's nice to see those things.
For sure, and that's got to be, of course, these guys aren't coaches, but it's nice to have them help coach some of the other
Absolutely,
guys.
It is. It's really good.
Now, and one thing I'll say about Elijah Fernandez, too, usually, of course, today's Sunday, we're recording this, but usually I come by on Monday, and sometimes when I pull in, he's over here with some younger children in the practice field. Now, I don't know what's going on over there, but it looks like he's running his own little football camp.
He's got he coaches one of the YMCA teams, flag football teams, so he has a lot of fun doing that, and he's great at working with young kids and stuff. So
I bet that's awesome. I bet that's really cool. I wish I'd have known about that. We'll have to get a photographer up here for that. But Coach, I think you have really started turning the group around here. I think the way they think about themselves, the way they think about football. Do you feel that same way, though? Do you feel like you've really got the culture going the way you want it to go?
I think we got it going the right direction. I really do. It's fun to watch the change, watch the kids, their mindset and their mentality and their focus and what they're looking for and their maturity, and all of those things are changing, and seeing the confidence in themselves. because before they didn't feel like they had confidence in their own ability, and you got to have confidence in yourself, and that's what I told Coach Shelby before the game. I said the difference right now is that when your kids walk on a football field, they don't expect to do anything but win. Mm-hmm. And I said, we're getting there, and we're close to that, but there's still doubt sometimes in, oh no, are we going to, can we win this game? And sometimes they walk out there trying not to lose instead of just going and taking the game over and winning a football game, because there's a difference in trying not to lose and in winning a game.
Absolutely.
But we're getting there, and it's you can see their confidence is growing for sure.
Well, and confidence is that's a big deal for grown men, grown adults, much less guys who are still children. They really are. So, like I said, it's been fun to watch the turnaround, and I think you've got it going the right way. But we're going to preview Rossview later. We're also going to talk a few things about what you saw over the weekend, including a Titans game that we're not going to talk much about because there ain't much to talk about. But we're going to go to a break real quick, and then we'll come right back.
If you're looking to buy or sell in Dickson County, Tennessee, call Tim Southerland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Southerland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydixon.com.
Looking for a mortgage loan? Look no further than First Lending Solutions. We make getting a mortgage easy with no hidden fees and no surprises. We work for you, not the bank, so you can trust us to have your best interests at heart. Get pre-approved in minutes and enjoy a seamless, stress-free experience. Apply online or call us today.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was no big deal. Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome back to the Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Tomlinson. Coach, yesterday, I know college football rains on Saturdays, but I was invited to go play in a golf scramble.
Okay.
So I didn't get to check out the early slate of games. But you said something about the Notre Dame-Ohio State game. I thought that was an excellent football game to watch. What did you think about that?
It was a very good football game to watch. It was good banter back and forth, and they. For me, I was hoping they would both lose and figure a way out to how both of them could lose, because I didn't like either one of them. But for Notre Dame to lose the way they did on the last second of the game with 1 second left and only having 10 men on the field, two plays in a row, only had 10 men on the field, and then for Ohio State to run the football with that many seconds left, knowing this is the last play of the game. We're either scoring or we're going to overtime, and it's pretty fun to watch that.
Now, being a coach, and I wanted to ask you this about the Ohio State game. Ryan Day, he did make a pretty ballsy decision, there at the end. Being a coach, how much adrenaline does it put into your veins when you have to make a call like that?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Yeah. I do it all the time. Every chance I get, like we'll go for two in overtime. And, like I said, we beat Creekwood back 3 or 4 years ago.
I remember
Central,
that. I was there.
And we went to overtime, and they scored and kicked the extra point and went up 7, and we scored on the first play, and I'm like, all right, let's go for 2.
Yeah.
Let's go for 2. And the coolest part is, I called timeout, and I got all the old linemen, and I've jacked up, and we were, yelling and screaming and hollering in a huddle. And I just turned around and walked away and didn't even watch. Took my headset off, and I heard the crowd cheer, and I just, fist bump, and just kept right on walking. It was pretty fun. It's hard to watch. I mean, I'm like down covering my eyes or whatever. We kicked a field goal to win one a few years ago, and it was like a 42-yard field goal, and I couldn't watch it either. And he hit it, and it was great. But I like those moments of, you're either a hero or you're a goat. I like doing that.
I get it, Coach. I really do. Now, I was at the Creekwood Montgomery Central game, and I forget who your running back was, but I think he had 30 carries that day, and he ran right up the middle most of the time for about 4 or 5 yards a carry.
That's him.
Yeah, and he, everybody within a 5-mile radius knew what you were going to do on that play, and it didn't seem to matter. But that was one of the most exciting games I'd ever watched. Any of you Creekwood folks from a few years ago, y'all may remember that game. But one other thing, and we're going to take our last break real quick, but the Tennessee game, I do want to bring up the Titans. And, of course, Miami, they've got 70 points right now. So I don't know where they're at. I
saw that, too. That's
I haven't
crazy.
looked at the score update, so I don't know if they scored more, but they were in the red zone. But the Titans didn't have a great day. When I walked in, you asked me about it. You made a joke, asked me if I'd watched any of the Titans game. But I know you guys sat around and watched
Yeah, we're
it.
in here working, and, we're breaking down film on Rossview, and we're kind of keeping check of the game. And, we all got it recorded at home if we're going to watch it. And Coach Dog was sitting there and goes, well, I guess I can delete that recording. I'm not going back and watching this mess. So, so we kind of keep up with it as we're working. But give credit to Cleveland's defense because they do have a really good defense.
Absolutely.
But dadgummit, the Titans have got to find a way to make something happen.
Yeah, because they're not doing it right now. But I tell you, Coach Dog, he's a real fan. Because I had a friend of mine that had some season tickets. They're about 3 rows up in the corner.
Yeah.
And me and my cousin Daniel would go sit, and Coach Dog was right next to him. So I've seen Coach at a few of those games. I know he's a real fan.
Yeah, he's there every home game. He don't miss many.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take our last break, and then when we get back, we got a few minutes. We're going to talk about the Rossview game coming up.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Friendly customer service and a great selection of vehicles. Visit us today.
If you're looking to buy or sell in Dickson County, Tennessee, call Tim Sutherland at Rolling Hills Realty. As a seasoned realtor, Tim knows how to get you the best price for your home. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so trust the expert. Call Tim Sutherland today at 615-720-1568 or visit rollinghillsrealtydixon.com.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Steve Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, a truly enjoyable car buying experience. Come see why we were voted #1 auto dealer in Dickson County. Visit stevejonesauto.com.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Hello and welcome back to Dickson County High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Thompson. Coach, you got a 4-2 Rossview team that you got to meet Friday night. How do your guys feel about that game coming up?
I haven't talked to them yet. So, we talked a little bit about it Friday night after the game, and they know that we got another tough one coming in. We played Kirkwood 2 weeks ago that was 4-0 coming in, and Clarksville High, which is, just steamrolling everybody that's 6-0 right now. And then Rossview's won 4 straight, and they're 4-2. And, by the way, I don't think they've given up a point in those 4 wins. So, their defense is playing well. Their offense is efficient and, can move the football down the field. And they do a good job of moving the sticks. I don't believe, and this is no slight against Rossview whatsoever, but I don't believe they're a Clarksville High by any means. Clarksville's, I think, on a different level than the rest of the region.
I would say
so. But I do expect a really good football game Friday night against a Rossview team that's got a little momentum right now.
Yeah, and when I went back and I looked on the internet, I think it was Coach T, and I was going back and I was looking at the scores. They have not allowed a point in the last month.
Right.
Now, I asked you something before the Kirkwood game. Your boys, they wanted to give them their first loss. It was a point of emphasis. Dickson wants to score, not just to win, but they want to take away those shutouts, don't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll mention that tomorrow. And he was like, "Look, guys, they're taking pride in not letting people score touchdowns. So it's got to be our job to, stop that. And we can't let that. We got to be the ones that get over that hump and change the culture, or not the culture, but change the narrative here of what's going on, and so, but Todd does a good job. Todd Hood's the head football coach, and he does a good job of getting his guys ready and getting them prepared and breaking down film. So he'll have a good game plan against us. So we just got to be better and execute better than we did this past Friday.
Alrighty, now I don't know much about Rossview. Offensively, are they going to try and throw the ball more? Are they going to try and run the ball more?
They're more of a run heavy team. They will throw it though. I mean, it's not like Clarksville High that Clarksville's only going to throw it if they have to. But so they'll throw it a little more than that. They like to take a shot or two down the field every now and then. They they are a shotgun team with a sniffer back that likes to run a lot of counters and misdirection things. So we got to really read the guards pulling and make sure that we're in the in our right gaps and have good gap integrity. But they're going to run it a little more than they're going to throw it.
Well, and now I'm just assuming, but most of these high school rosters, they've got a few running backs, so you've got to get ready for a change of pace back too. Or?
I would assume so. I mean, we got, of course, you over there on the board, you can see we got some numbers written down. That's their defensive stuff. But,
there we go.
But yeah, they got a couple guys they run in and out, and they got a couple of different backs that they use, and each one of them has a little bit better, different skill set than the other. So you got to prepare for that, and yeah. I mean, it's
okay. Now, defensively, what do you think they're going to try and do?
That's where they're good. I mean, like I said, offensively they're efficient and they do well, but defensively they're pretty good. Up front they're good. Their linebackers are really good. The two inside guys, they really have a nose for the ball. So we've got to be cautious of where they're at all times, and make sure that we're getting a hat on a hat when it comes to those guys. And I feel good about our running game. I mean, because I felt like we moved the ball well against Clarksville too. So we just got to play assignment football. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot with stupid penalties, and make sure that we're moving the chains and keeping the ball away from Rossview.
Yeah, and that's one other thing I wanted to bring up offensively. I know a few weeks ago I asked you Wyatt Gramling. He had taken that starting role. How have you seen him grow to this point, and what would you like to see out of him Friday night to help your offense?
Command to take over, because Friday I thought he played. He didn't have one of his better games, and he was actually in here a little while ago, and we talked for a few minutes about he's got to be better, and he knows it. I mean, he carrying out his fakes wasn't very good, and his progressions was not good at times, and just being a leader and being more of a role model and leader on the and control of the team. And I told him, I said, you're not the only one that needs to get their game better, but you are the quarterback, and it starts with you. And he's like, yes, sir, I understand. And he sat in and listened to the game plan. And so, like I said, he's got to play a little better than he did Friday, but he's still wanting to learn and get it right. So
okay, and I asked you a minute ago about wins and losses as far as a program. That's got to feel like a win as a coach when you've got a young man that knows they made a mistake, but they know they need to fix it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's progressing really well. A lot of them are in learning.
And that's just part of that cultural change, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's part of the cultural change. It's a part of the mindset change of we're a team, and it's not about me, and it's not about I. It's about the team concept. And, when I first got here, it was all about how many tackles I was making, or how many yards I was getting, or how many catches I was catching. And I doesn't win games. It's got to be all 11, and we got to all do it together. And we got to be happier when our teammate does something good than we are when we do something good. You ought to be celebrating your teammate's success more so than your own success.
All righty. Well, before we're done, I do want to ask you a few more questions. I know I've got Marty, our photographer. He sent me a few photos of the junior varsity game, and I've been trying to keep up with these scores as much as I can. But those guys, I mean, they're punching people in the mouth, aren't they?
They are. They're a fun group to watch. They're fun. You know, they're doing really well. And you're talking about celebrating your own teammates' success. The one picture, I don't know if you saw it, but Hunter Webb was jumping up and down in the end zone with Jalen Harper, who scored a touchdown off of a punt, block, mix-up, whatever you want to call it, and he was able to run it back in for a touchdown. And the one that was celebrating just as happy as Jalen was Hunter, and that was fun to see that. But, yeah, they're fun to watch. Anybody wants – well, you know, unfortunately we don't have any more home games. They were all front-end heavy. We had 4 in a row, I think. And so we're on the road at Clarksville. That'll be a good test for them tomorrow. But they are definitely a fun group to watch.
And those guys, they probably want a little revenge from Friday night, don't they?
They always do. They always go, we're going to go get them for Monday, Coach. We'll get them on Monday. And I was like, well, I hope we do. I mean, you know, it's always good to see that success. But yeah, they'll be going in there hungry.
Awesome. Well, if y'all get the chance, y'all should go check out this JV team. They're phenomenal. I've been seeing these scores. They're fun to watch. So, Coach, thank you for meeting with me today. And good luck.
Always fun.
Friday. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Go Cougars.
Go Cougars. Y'all have a good evening.
You've been watching the Dickson County High School Coaches Show with Dickson County head coach Jeff Tomlinson and Dickson Post sports reporter Casey Patrick. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Dickson County football. The Dickson County Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, Lee Canifax with Health Markets Insurance, Steve Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Tim Sutherland with Rolling Hills Realty, Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.